Penn State Ohio State preview. Penn State's going to travel to Columbus this weekend to play Ohio State. Right now, Ohio State's ranked number 2. Right now, Ohio State's ranked number 6. My bad. Penn State's ranked number 2. Penn State's undefeated. Ohio State has one loss. They lost to Oklahoma 31-16 in week 2 at Ohio State. Both teams look pretty good going to this matchup. Ohio State has looked very, very impressive as of late. Penn State's look very impressive. Ohio State really had that one test early on, has beat up on some, pretty mild competition recently, but it's been very dominant and it has looked very, very good. It does look like this team has kind of changed what was ever wrong with them. And if Oklahoma was playing Ohio State tomorrow, I really would not have a lot of confidence in picking Oklahoma. But I mean, Ohio State still has to prove it on a stage like this. But from a statistical look, Penn State is the number one scoring defense in the nation right now, and Ohio State has the number one scoring offense in the nation right now. Penn State's about 15th, I think, in scoring offense, and Ohio State's about 10 in scoring defense. So it's about the same. It's a little interesting because I think Penn State's defense really isn't all that great. I don't know how great Ohio State's offense is. It's just that it's been beating up on kind of mediocre competition so far. Penn State beat up Michigan pretty good last week. Michigan's not a bad team, but they are a younger team. They're still rebuilding a little bit, and Michigan's not what Ohio State is. Period. Ohio State's got a very good passing game with J.T. Barrett. Not a ton of amazing receivers, but they got a little bit going. Um, Barrett and McSorley about the same passing yards wise. McSorley's got about 40 more yards passing. And here comes a little surprise. Ohio State's got a good running game, and their running back J.K. Dobbins actually has 18 more yards than Saquon Barkley, and that's when everybody goes, "Oh my God!" Well, first off, Ohio State has a better offensive line than Ohio State. I mean, than Penn State. Penn State's O line really isn't that great. Teams can kind of get in there, and that's why Barkley gets a lot of receiving yards because they can work him out into the where there aren't so many people, and he can break loose and do what Saquon Barkley does. But Ohio State does have a good running back, J.K. Dobbins. He's a freshman, and he's going to be a very, very good running back in the year's future. Probably a first-round NFL draft pick, I think. He's a good running back. Penn State's going to have to account for him and J.T. Barrett with the running option there, and they might be able to keep Penn State's defense off balance. Penn State is going to have to. Penn State offensively is going to have to try to move the ball passing wise because Ohio State is a really good front seven. Now I know I said that about Michigan too. I know everybody was saying that, but Penn State tore them apart. So Penn State might be able to do something, but Ohio State will be able to key in on Barkley and McSorley and get pressure on them. I think Penn State might be a little bit disoriented, maybe a little bit confused in Ohio State Stadium. So they're gonna have to go to the pass and try to work in some of those guys to have that front seven back off a little bit. Because if they don't, they're just gonna stack the box. I mean Ohio State and just key in on Barkley and McSorley, and they're not gonna be able to go anywhere. But if they can get a couple drives going, maybe a couple of good first downs with Johnson, Hamilton, Gesicki, Tompkins, Blacknall, all those guys, and then maybe they can work in that option. They got Barkley running. McSorley pulls it back, goes for 20 yards. Then there's that whole threat with McSorley. Who's it going to, McSorley or Barkley? Ohio State has that too. But if Penn State can do that, they're gonna be able to move the ball on them. I think that's the key. How I see the game shaping out, I think it's a close matchup. I think both these teams are pretty close talent wise. And this is Penn State's first game that it's not about beating the other teams that they play. I think quite as much. It's about doing their job. This game, they're gonna have to be clicking on all cylinders because this game they don't have a clear cut talent advantage in many areas. Running back they do, maybe other areas, maybe secondary, cornerback, but there's not a they don't have a clear cut talent advantage, and they're away. Ohio State has revenge on their mind, and they want to buy, and they're coming off a bye, so they have a lot of advantages here. That's why they are a 6.5 favorite. But I still think Penn State can pull this out, but it's going to be close. It's not going to be an easy win. But how I see this thing playing out is I see Ohio State coming out getting a lead, but never enough to really cement their impact on the game. Maybe two scores, but never anything more than like 10, 14 points, I don't think. And I think they kind of let Penn State hang around. I think Penn State gets better as the game goes along because I think they can react to what Ohio State's doing. I think they're going to be able to make some passes as the game goes on, get some rushing yards going with Barkley, some big plays there. I think Ohio State, Barrett's going to do okay, but I think Penn State's going to be able to get pressure on them and be able to key in a little bit and be able to make them go to the pass, and they might not be so hot in that area. So how I see the game playing out is I see Penn State winning this game 27-24 in a close one. But that's interesting. I got them going on the under. I think it's going to be fairly low scoring, but I do think Penn State's able to pull it out at the end of the day. So that's a wrap for this video. I hope it happens. But remember, the pressure's on you, Ohio State, because you guys got to win. If you lose, you're not making the playoff. I can pretty much guarantee you that. Penn State, if we can win this, we got a good chance of making the playoff. Very good chance. We just got to do our job in the rest of the games and show up in the Big Ten championship, most likely against Wisconsin, and win. And I think we're going to be able to punch a ticket. But if we lose, then it's all on us. We got to win out, and we got to look good doing it. So this is a big game, and I got Penn State 27-24. Peace out, guys.